We are back, and we're back with a bang. It was a ending to remember at St James's Park, and here to discuss the game with is Lee Judges. We're back. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. We're going to get into the game itself and look towards the future. Arsenal's 6 games are now up, and we've picked up 13 points from a possible 18. Which, to be fair, I think probably majority of Arsenal fans would have taken if I had offered that to you at the start before a ball was kicked. We'd have all liked 18. We'd have all taken 15. We'd definitely would have taken, an unbeaten 6 games. But we've taken 13 from a very hard fixture list. I think there's only Manchester United stated as having a run as difficult or more difficult than us. So, we've got through it. We've beaten Leeds, we've beaten Forest, we've beaten Manchester United, we've beaten Newcastle, and we, of course, drew to Manchester City and unfortunately losing to Liverpool at Anfield. But we're 2 points off the top. Liverpool looked very shaky. We're going to discuss that game as well. And we're here to talk about Arsenal. So, Lee, you were there. And you know what? It's mad because when you go to a game, you see things so differently, in my opinion. The way they ended, it was absolutely phenomenal ending. That's how you want every game to end, right? Especially when you go to the game. When we watched it in the studio, it's very different. Obviously, the audio's off, and it's the emotion side of it at the end was great for us. So I can only imagine what it's like for you guys at the stadium. But let's get your thoughts because there's been kind of some difference of opinions in certain aspects of fan cams that we've watched. Some people thought we were scintillating and brilliant and back to our best. Some people thought there was just job done, and others thought, yeah, brilliant win, but there's still some definite room for improvement. And I think that's pretty fair on all 3 accounts, to be fair. So what are you telling me about the game yesterday, Judges?
Yeah, look, listen, it could be different when you're watching it at home, watching it at the stadium and all that. Like, I thought Arsenal were fantastic. I thought it was an entertaining game. I really enjoyed the way we played, the way we opened them up. The goalkeepers made a great couple of unbelievable saves. Yes, if you're going to look on the negative, we didn't take our chances. We should have been more. The game should have been done and dusted way before they scored. I felt that we could have been 3-0 up before that happened. But you give them a bit of credit with the goalkeeper. He's there to make saves, and he done them. And good saves that they were. The penalty's a joke. It's a penalty. I have to say, I don't know why that's not a penalty. I think at that stage of the game, we was dominant. It was after about 10, 15 minutes when I thought we started off really, really well. Then what happens when you miss chances? The other team go up and get one chance and score it. It took it very, very well. A little bit soft on Gabriel. It was a push, but not enough to get it to be disallowed or whatever. But funny, like a faintest touch. They found a faintest touch with the ball, but couldn't find the faintest touch with that. But then I just started. I was starting thinking to myself, like, we cannot play this well and lose a game of football. It just that cannot happen. Like, we've got to be able to do that. Like, and then I think you just thinking to yourself. I was just thinking to myself, we ain't going to win this game. It's just one of those games. It's just one of these grounds where things just don't go our way. But I was saying to myself, look, well, we'll lose this one, but I'm not going to moan or groan about it because I felt the work rate, the way we played, we opened them up, we created chances, we played some good football. Have a look at that one that hit the post, as I said to you earlier on, Dan. The move for that goal opportunity, which realistically 6 yards out Trossard, he's got to score that. He's got to score it. Like, you know what I mean? It was absolutely wonderful football. Great ball up to Gyökeres. First touch, second touch into I think it was Saka. Saka to Rice. Saka's ball to Rice is brilliant. Rice's first touch is brilliant. His run into the box is brilliant. His weight and time of the pass is brilliant. And then Trossard hit the post. But it was fantastic. And we was opening them up like that. And then I was just thinking to myself, you know what? We just got to say, like, dust ourselves down and go again. Because if we play like that, we'll win more games than we'll lose. And I have to say, once we scored, which was a fantastic goal, and I always have to say the 2 substitutions, Marino coming on, and I would have to say Odegaard, we'll talk about him in a second. were game changers, absolute game changers. Unbelievable header. Now, this short free kick, we're all saying about short corner. Give the set piece people again credit because it was a little short corner. They done it in the first half, if you remember right, for their goal. They done exactly the same sort of thing and same sort of angle for the cross. It's a fantastic cross, and then my God, it's a fantastic header. And it was slow motion behind the goal because you know when you're so high up, you don't really know it was in or it looked, when it went in, you know, it was fair. But everybody in that ground, in that away end, weren't happy with that. That was it. Like, let's go get the winner now. We've got I think it come up on the board 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I can't remember now. But we thought that we had an opportunity to win it again. Then, the handball situation. And I'll tell you what, Dan, I'm not going to lie. My heart sunk when they did the VAR decision for handball for penalty because it is handball. We knew it was handball. But fortunately, and this is what I say, and I said it on my fan cam, you know what I mean? I do believe there's corruption. There's certainly something not right with the VAR and Arsenal. But after seeing some of the decisions this weekend, the Liverpool handball, right, and give that is criminal, right? That, people go on about the Arsenal one, like they don't even show that. It's criminal that's not being sorted out. And the Man United one, which is a sending off. Now, bearing in mind, that's not a goal scoring opportunity, right? That's not a goal scoring opportunity from 5 yards out, right? 5 yards out, it's not a goal scoring opportunity. Just think, guys, 45 yards out at Bournemouth when Saliba goes down, that's a goal scoring opportunity. But 5 yards out isn't. Wow. So listen, we don't like Man United, but if that would have happened to us, you know what I mean, it's scandalous because let's face it, they score the penalty with 10 men, they go on and win it. And I think even though they missed the penalty, it's still up against 10 men. I think they would have come back and got something out of that game. Now, that could cost that manager his job. I know that other things down the line have done that, but that decision ultimately could have cost him his job. You know what I mean? So they just keep getting things wrong. And that is the fact. That's what's happening at me, and it's just unbelievable. And then, anyway, getting back to the main bit, thank God they said no penalty. And then when that goal went in, Dan, I don't care what he says. 5 hours up there, 5 hours back. He's tough, you know what I mean? Especially in the car. And normally we do it and stay over for the night, and it's a great weekend. But to do it on I've done it twice now, just on the up and down. I've done it on a train. It's a lot better, I can tell you. But up and down in the car in a day. I've done it in the League Cup semi-final. We lost 2-0. Yes. I can guarantee you the ride yesterday was 150,000 times better than that one. You know what I mean? It was brilliant. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, it was unreal when that goal went in. I think it's a fantastic result as well. But what I liked about it, 3 things I liked about it. First of all was the result. Secondly, the way we played, I thought we was the much, much better team. I can't really remember Raya having a save at Newcastle, which is unreal. And third, right, and this is the one that really is important for me, I was entertained. I enjoyed a game of football watching Arsenal. It's been a little bit boring lately, Listen, I will say that, Newcastle are not the team that they were last season, but that's not our fault. That's down to them, you know what I mean? The other fact of it is, Liverpool won there, but we was a lot more convincing going there and beating them. They had 10 men, Newcastle, and Newcastle maybe should have pipped them or got something out of the game. We was dominant from start to finish. Listen, got a lot of respect for Eddie Howe and what he does and what he's done up there. Turns around and said, we wasn't at our best. The reason they wasn't at their best because we never allowed them to be at their best. So all credit to Arsenal on that day. It was a brilliant performance, brilliant win. And one of those wins, Dan, that we needed that. You cannot underestimate how much that was. Because if we lose or draw that, it would have been another big team failed to beat. Didn't get the result, didn't get the win. We put a lot of I'm not saying like a lot of demons are there, but a lot of doubts and all that put to bed with that one game. That's a fantastic result. As I said to you a few years ago today, a few years ago when we went in the Invincible run, we went to Liverpool and we got a 2-1 win after being a goal down. I'm not saying we're going to go on and win the league at this one. We certainly can't go invincible. But you know where I'm coming from. That and Liverpool were at the same sort of level as what Newcastle were, and we went and got the result. And it was absolute wonderful day. And I got home last night, probably about just after 2:00 in the morning, and I had to watch Match of the Day. I had to, you know what I mean, buzzing for it, and that's what it's all about, Dan. You know what I mean. That I was proud to be an Arsenal fan. So proud of the team. They all worked so hard and all that. Yes, there was some performances that weren't great, but you ain't going to get everybody playing well. It was I just thought it was a good away performance.
Yeah. Big up to 80 in the chat as well. Legend, bro.
Well, mate. I know he was buzzing yesterday as well.
Yeah, he was. He messaged me. He's like, that's the one. That's what you want to be saying. Yeah, the result was a lot better.
He loves all those sort of defensive and then smash and grab, if you call it. I don't think it's a smash and grab, but you know what I mean? Like, come back.
Yeah, I get why people say that. I said that maybe was it a smash and grab, we'll take it. But I don't think they're saying that in a bad way. I don't think they're saying like...
No, I think it's a great way. I get that. Yeah, like, 100%.
Smash and grab because we were lucky. I don't think it's that at all. I think, you know, like a lot of people, you know, said... You know, it wasn't a lucky win because we were by far the better side. I mean, it was quite clear to see it was better. And I thought the first 30 to 35, I thought we were really good. I thought we were really good to watch. I thought the was the term Mikel uses, the handbrake's off or whatever. I thought that was true. I thought the first 30 to 35, the handbrake was off, mate. I thought the football was quite nice to watch. I thought passing was there. My frustration was I don't think we took the chances. Now, some of that is down to Nick Pope, to be fair, because I thought the save from Eze was really good. But Trossard's got to score, bruv. Like, he has to. And I know he's hit the post and you can say it's unlucky, but he's got to bury that. He's got to make sure, you know, that was an unbelievable. And that goal, Lee, would have been a really good rolling back the years of when Arteta was at 22-23 season. That was a real good goal that would have been, you know, passing around and moving. And then the penalty incident, which I want to come to first, I don't get it, bruv. I still don't get it. People have tried to tell me that it's a brilliant bit of goalkeeping and excellent a save and a really good tackle. And if my goalkeeper's doing that, I'm worried because he's rushing out like a madman. He's taken the guy out and fouled him. And the only reason he's touched the ball is because Gyökeres has got there first and it's just flicked him. It's a bit like what Pope has done, in my opinion. It's a bit like a madman rushing out and a striker flicking it over their guy's head, but it just clipped his head by luck and has gone out. You go, brilliant defending, but it's not because you've really taken the geezer out. But you've won the ball because it's hit you on the head by luck. That's basically what Pope was doing. He's taking him out. Now, the other thing I'll say quickly is Saka and Gyökeres are there to tap it in if it goes round the goalkeeper. But because our striker's now been hacked out, they're saying he's won the ball. He can't go around and take it out. So, has Gyökeres dived then? This is what I don't get. Why has Gyökeres gone on the floor then? Has he dived? Has he jumped on roly-polies? I don't think he has. So Dermot Gallagher comes on with Jay Bothroyd today talking absolute waffle again on the old ref watch. And he's trying to compare the Sanchez one with this one and saying it's totally different. Now, Dermot Gallagher is basically just talking waffle and sticking up for his friends, if I'm honest. I thought Pope got a bit lucky, if I'm honest. I can't lie. I thought Pope got lucky. I thought it was a penalty. Still think it's a penalty. And I don't care what people tell me. I'm still going to say I think it's a penalty. Because I don't think that the guy can take it around the goalkeeper and then just be taken out like that. And then you go, oh, yeah, but he kicked it into my foot. So I'll just say I won the ball. Saliba got sent off last year against Brighton for this headbutt. And it was exactly the same scenario. But if you look at it, apparently now, it's all right if you click it onto your foot or your head. So I think it is inconsistency. I think it's poor. And we've seen two goalkeepers take two strikers out in a week of each other. One of them's been sent off. The other one, penalty's been overturned because it wasn't deemed as a foul. So I think that is where the referees have completely got it wrong. The handball one, I don't think it's a handball by law because it hits his chest first, luckily, or his knee first. If it hits your body and hits your arm, it ain't that's changed now. It ain't a handball. I don't know how we're supposed to keep up with this, Lee, if I'm honest with you. I don't know what the rules are now. Changing
No,
all the time.
I'm with you.
So I don't know what handball is, but that's my opinion on the VAR stuff before we go any further. What do you make of this penalty thing?
Right, I'll tell you what I make of this penalty. Go back to Song, right? He's done it about 4 times against Arsenal, right? Yeah, when there's just slight contacts, you know what I mean? Like nothing else talks about anything else. Like on a couple of occasions, definite dives, but there's slight contact, or Harry Kane, like slight contact. All of a sudden, like that you know, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, you know what I mean? Unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, I've watched football. I've played football, right? And I'll tell you this now. When I was at, you know, in our day, they didn't have academies like they did. You go to like the pro clubs and all that. Like, I was taught and told, if you go in the box and you go past the man, if you've got, if it's not 100% chance that you can't tap it in, you go down, right? That is it. That was what we was told to do. So, and in some ways in football, strikers create the contact, right? Michael Owen's done it a lot of times. Harry Kane does it all the time. Like, you create the contact. So basically, you knock the ball and make sure the goalkeeper hits you and you go down. It's a stone wall penalty. It has been a penalty since football's existed, right? Yeah. And now you've got these people on a VAR machine, wherever they are, in a hut in a field, wherever they in the middle of nowhere, trying to tell me that no, it's not a penalty because his forward movement doesn't go there. I had that idiot Joe Hart. How's he got a job saying that it's stand? he stands. He's great. No, he clattered him. He's clattered him. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like, you know, and the referee. And this is the biggest thing of all, like, you know what I mean? Howard Webb, we'll go into, it's got to be, you know, we want our referees to referee games, right? At the end of the day, right? Well, you didn't yesterday, because if that is clear and obvious, why is it taking you 54 times to watch it? And I've also hearing today, Dan, that it isn't like, which is another thing, like a VAR person going, have a look at it. I think he touches the ball, right? He continually keeps telling him, like, you know what I mean? Oh, this is like making him force him to make that decision, right? And that has got that in the thing, like, you know what I mean? So he's not even going to the screen. He's impartial to see what he's seen. He's like, no, you got this wrong. You got this wrong. You got this wrong. You got this wrong. Putting doubts into the referee's mind. What it should be, whether we think there's a touch on the ball, your decision, have a look. No more needs to be said. And then you look at it and go, do you know what? You're talking bollocks, mate. See you later on. But he don't. They keep goading him to make that decision. It's wrong, Dan. You know what I mean?
And that's what I said on my fan cam yesterday, Laurie. I said the VAR is not the problem. The technology is not the issue. Does the technology work? All you got to do is click a button and, oh, yeah, it's working. We're showing it. This is what should happen, in my opinion, to try and sort this waffle out. He's given a penalty. Get it, right? He should walk up to the screen, take headphones and earpieces out and watch it again and go, have I got that right? Yeah, I think I have. Penalty. He don't need these people in his ears, like you've just said, convincing him that he's made this right and that's right. And Barry, you come up. What, Barry? 1 second, Jared Gillett. Barry wants to chat now. No, I don't have time for anymore. I want to watch it again. I'm as qualified as all these people that are in Stockley Park. I will make the decision and I will stand by it, or I'll overturn it. And I think they should be brave enough to say, nah, I'm going with the decision on field. I believe that is a penalty. Why have we got these people in Stockley Park that are allowed to talk to their referees and mic them up? I don't get it. It makes it confusing. Because if I said to you, judges, what do you think of that? You might go, I think it's this. Hang on, wait there 1 second. I'm going to bring these 5 lads over to talk to you about why they think you might not be right. By the end of that conversation, you might think, bloody hell, these 5 have made me feel now like maybe I was wrong.
On him, like, exactly.
And that's what's happening.
All the technology, like, you know.
It's a joke, man.
The other thing is, I'll ask you a question, right? And I know it's hypothetical. You can't really answer it to a certain degree, right? If that was Newcastle, would that have been given?
Oh, that's a great question.
I think it would have been. I've got no hesitation that would have been given. Because, and I'll tell you what, I'm not having a go at just having a thing at Arsenal. I think if that was the other way around last week, that it's given as well against Man United. Man United are the home team, right? At the end of the day, like, yeah. And, why aren't they saying, we got the ball there? I think because it a home team, it would have been cut like carnage if they didn't give that goal up there yesterday. And carnage at Old Trafford as well, like. And then it's funny that Man United get that one. And then what one don't they get on Saturday? Saturday is the one away from home against Brentford, which is stonewall. I look at the one that we got at Bournemouth last year. How can you turn around, Dan, and speak to me logically here, like, and anybody in the chat, please, how can you say it's not a goal scoring opportunity from 5 yards out, right? And the excuse they give is he's not in control of the ball, right? Well, of course he's not in control of the ball because someone's pulling him back. So I don't see how you can, and then you can turn around. And it's not just Arsenal when I'm going back in that it's 40 yards out. How can you say that is a clear and obvious goal scoring chance? It is. Can't anybody see that they're ruining the game?
Oh, it's awful, mate. I actually hate it. I hate it.
Salah touches it with his hand. It affects the player heading the ball, right? Whether he actually hits his hand or not, he's looking at it and is he going to hit it or not? Like, he's affecting the game. No, don't even mention it. There's 3 decisions there, and you could probably go through the whole thing. And
it's not even that, Lee, right? Let's take last week. Martinelli, he goes through with a brilliant ball from Eze. He's miles onside, by the way. But whilst I'm watching it live, my split second, I'm watching Eze. Then I've watched the ball. Martinelli's always run. And I look, and by the time I see it, Martinelli's offside. So he's running through. He obviously does what he does. He dinks it over the keeper. And I'm sat there not celebrating. Everyone's going nuts, jumping all over me. I'm going, I think it's offside. It's going to be offside. That shouldn't happen, bruv. I should be going mental with everyone.
Yeah.
But I can't. Yeah. I can't now because I'm like, I think that might be now disallowed because they're gonna let this blood. They're gonna let us celebrate this, and they're gonna then bring it all up. Of course, they bring it on up a VAR. He's miles on, right? However, you don't know that. That has ruined the match-going fans' experience because the first one I watched was when they first brought it in when Raheem Sterling scored against Tottenham and Tottenham beat Man City in the Champions League semis when they got the final. That was the first year they brought VAR out as a tester. And I went, oh, Sterling, not Tottenham are out. Brilliant. And then VAR came in and I thought, hang on a minute, that's just ruined all of their celebrations in the Etihad there. What's that? What's all this about? I don't like this. I hope they don't bring this in. And they did bring it in. And I wasn't against the technology. I was against what it does and the effects it has on everything else. Because they've made it a very complicated game, haven't they? They've made it a very complicated game now. And it never was when I grew up watching it. And you've played it for years. You know, it's totally ruining it, you know. And like that, and I've known a few people because of what I do on my channel. There's a few people that now come on my channel when they come up from the Championship. Do you know what? Every season they've said the same thing. Yeah. Every season they've said the same thing, which you know it's going to be. Oh, it's a shame we're going back down to the Championship, but thank fuck we ain't got that VAR because that was horrible this year. Yeah. Every single team that's come up, Judge, and gone, sorry, you got. Hopefully you come back up next year. Yeah, well, the only positive is we ain't got to look at that VAR crap this year. And I think, wow, they're going down to the Championship. That's the positive. I ain't got to look at this crap. It's awful.
Yeah, and Dan, the other side of it is, well, don't you think this is poor as well? Like League Cup, when we was in the League Cup on Wednesday, the first round they ain't got it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you can't even bring it in the professional game. As you say, like you've got professional games in the Championship that haven't got it. So it's just a complete and utter different. It's a different ball game. Football, like, you know, I mean, one of the greatest things about football is that you had the same rules. If you play like when I played in the FA Cup, you play against teams in the FA Cup, maybe better than you, higher up than you, but it was the same competition. Even that's not the same competition now. It's all changed. Football's changed. And actually, I went to the FA Cup game on Saturday, didn't I? Like, you know, and watched Waltham Abbey versus Malden and Trippier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
how did that go, mate? How did that go?
4-2 they won. Malden, very good side. Big up to the Malden fans that were singing my name and all that, which was like unbelievable.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was class, like, you know what I mean? So, But
Big up to Troops, man. Big up to Troops for the raid. Legend Troops.
top man,
Thanks,
Troops,
man.
top man. Thank you very
Legend,
much.
bro. Legend.
And it, it was a very good game of football. Like tackles going in. Do you know what I'm going to say? It is, Dan. I'll tell you what it is. It's honest football. It's honest, and you don't see all this people diving around and all that. Like, and I'll tell you another thing. What I will say, right? I believe with this thing of what can I say? VAR. I don't think refs are refereeing the games like they should. They're in the back of their mind, they're thinking, "Oh, well, I've got this on the end of it, on whatever." Now, a lot of people, right, have having a go at the referee yesterday, right? Get it saying that he's like Liverpool and all that. I'm going to say it now. I thought he refereed it all right. I've got to say that, like, he gave the penalty.
Yeah, this is what I mean. He gave the penalty. VAR got involved. Yeah.
VAR then influenced him not to. He should have been strong enough to go like, no, you're but he can't. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's been influenced in that decision. But I felt at the end of the day, he did give the penalty. He didn't give a penalty for the handball. Even in open play, he never give that. You know what I mean? Like, most of those decisions he got right. You know what I mean? They let the game flow. There was some tackles in there. Look, Newcastle are no shrinking violets. We know that, like, and nor are we. So there's going to be sort of things like that, like, you know. And so it was. I thought he'd done okay as a ref. Like, it's VAR. It is a shambles.
It's awful, bruv. It's awful, mate. It's awful. It is. And I said that yesterday. I ain't the referee. He's given the penalty.
There you go.
It ain't the referee. He's given the penalty. I know Gillett is a Liverpool fan. Darren England's also a Liverpool fan on VAR, by the way. However, when you look at it, I don't think you can look at the referee for that incident yesterday. He gave the penalty. He thought it was a penalty, and he was influenced by VAR. You can say that Gillett is then should say, no, I'm happy with my decision. I don't know why VAR are getting involved, by the way, because it's not clear and obvious anyway. So that's another thing.
Right, and one more point I've got to make about this penalty. When people turn around to you and say it's not a penalty, right? Whoever it be, the referee or Dermot Carragher or whoever, right? What is the one thing that tells you it's a penalty or it's not? What was one thing? Player's reaction, right? He never even went once to the referee and gone, I touched the ball, I touched it. He never argued it. You go back and have a look at it. Pope does not contest that decision one bit. When the penalty's given, he looks up in the air. He don't go, no, touch the ball. Even argue with the referee to go and have a look at VAR.
Great point.
Nothing.
Great point.
Nothing.
Great point.
So anybody that goes back, he's resigned to, it's a penalty. Go and have a look. Now, you know, if you've touched the ball and all that, players will go up there and go, I've touched the ball, look at VAR. But he does not do anything like that. So for me, stonewall penalty.
Look, I totally agree. I think it was a penalty. But let's go talk about the game a little bit more. I want to bring up some individuals that I was very impressed with yesterday. The first one is Jurriën Timber. I thought he had a very, very good game. One of my favourite performances yesterday. I thought from minute one he was winning his duels, much better going forward than he has been of late. I thought he was elite defensively. I think he won pretty much every single one of his battles, to be fair. So I wanted you to touch on him. I also want to touch on Declan Rice because I thought his position yesterday was excellent and I thought his defensive work was outstanding, particularly some of the one-on-one stuff that he had with I think it was Jacob Murphy at one stage that he went through. Very, very impressed with his performance. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the performance of Victor Gyökeres yesterday because I thought that was quite mixed from the fan base. So they're the three players I'll start with, Judge.
Yeah, look, listen, I'm going to hold my hands up about Tim, right? I thought he weren't great going forward yesterday. I actually said in my fan cam, I thought he weren't great. But what I was, I didn't think he was unbelievable going forward, but I thought he was unbelievable defending. That's what he's there for, is a right back. Get it right. I thought he was sensational. Anthony Gordon's caused us problems in the last few games. You know what I mean? He never got a kick. Physically gets in there. You know what I mean? Like, I love that tackle and all. When he gets right. He wraps his leg around and do you know what I mean? Like, we got to be powerful to do that. He's strong. Do you know what? wonder what would he be like if he didn't have had that injury?
Oh,
He must have. I'll tell you what, because I've never known anybody to come back and be better from for an injury like that. But like, he certainly is. He certainly has, and like, it's incredible. His energy levels are fantastic. He goes through so much work, as well, Dan, up and down physically. I mean, I'll be really honest. I wouldn't play him Wednesday. I'd give him a break. You know what I mean? Like, because I think physically he goes through unbelievable amounts of work defensively, going forward. I think. Listen, Ben. I was listening to your show with Jordan earlier on today, like, and you were saying, like, you thought like Ben White was a good player, and and what my thoughts of Ben White are, like, you know what I mean. But Timbers, like, there's nothing like him in the league, let alone at Arsenal. You know what I mean? I think he's the best right back. I haven't seen many better right backs than him. I'll be honest. You know what I mean?
And I think that's in Europe as well, Lee, by the way.
Yeah, I'll say this now. You talk about they're going about Trent. I wouldn't swap Trent with him. I wouldn't swap Reece James at Chelsea with him. Now, Reece James has had bad injuries as well and ain't come back like Julian Timber has. And I just think, like, you know what I mean, he's unbelievable in what he's done. I can't speak highly enough of him, like, and I think, I probably was a little bit out of order if I'll be honest with his forward stuff. I just felt there was a couple of times he could have done a little bit better.
No, that's fair. I don't think that's out of order saying that, because I think Ben White is known for his overlaps and his link-up play and his telepathy with Saka. I don't think Timber and Saka have quite got that yet, but I tell you what, Timber's got everything, mate. Everything else. Like,
he's got everything.
Not known for like Trent, is he? He's not known as a guy who's whipping in balls and setting everyone up, but he is. I mean, I don't know how he didn't score yesterday, by the way, as well. It was a brilliant save from Pope.
Unbelievable save. What a lovely lovely ball that was from Zubimendi, by the way.
Zubimendi, yeah. Really good play.
I would have to say Declan Rice was outstanding on the day. I knew he played well.
I love Rice.
But I didn't think he was as good as what I was when I see him. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what? You just expect him to have a good game. I play him Wednesday and leave him out of West Ham. All jokes aside. Don't play well against West Ham, but like, unbelievably plays well in every other game. Like, absolute beast yesterday. I'll tell you what he was yesterday. That's what you pay that money for, to get you over the line. And he did that yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Unbelievable cross for the goal. His cross leads to the corner, which gets us the winner. You know what I mean? Like, 9 out of 10 of his free kicks and corners are on point. There were a couple yesterday that weren't, but 9 times out of 10 they are. His work rate is unbelievable. You know what I mean? I'd love to know if he sleeps on the way home or not. I bet he don't, because he's got so much energy. It's just incredible. It's incredible. And I think when you want to talk about Gyökeres, I thought that was his best game in an Arsenal shirt yesterday. I thought he was brilliant. I thought his hold-up play was brilliant. He gave us a platform to allow our midfield to come onto the ball and play. So what I say by that is that when the ball's going up, as a midfield player, you've got to trust your centre forward, right? So that it's going to stick. And every time it went up that way, they made the positive runs because he was sticking. And have a look back at that chance from Trossard, which hits the post. It goes into him. He's the one that holds it up. Lovely little layoff. They all coming forward because of the confidence that he's got to hold that ball up, like, and go from there, like, And once they've done that, then they get the chance. That's where Havertz comes in when you talk about Havertz playing in there. Like, he's the one that does that, and then you got the ones running on, like, you know what I mean? But Gyökeres has got that physicality. I felt a little bit more than Havertz as well yesterday. I don't think that was easy to play up against yesterday. And anybody that's been a centre forward will know, you're back towards goal, you've got the centre half pulling your shorts, nicking you and all that. Like, you've got to get your body out there. I think he's lost a little bit of weight as well. Like, I don't think he looks a little bit sharper. I know we're millions of miles off of it. You might think I'm silly when I say this, but on 3 occasions, he looked like Odegaard out there. I thought, he looks a bit like Odegaard. It was obviously him. So I think that he's still bulky, still strong, but I just think he's just lost a slight bit of weight, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that was good. Should have, could have scored. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to give him a little bit more of a thing. The Premier League's a little bit sharper and a little bit quicker than what he thinks is, because that's 2 times now he's had a chance to get a shot off and he's not got it. The defender's got back at him, and even against Port Vale he got one. So I think he's got to be
taking a bit too long, isn't he?
Yeah, just got to take a little bit long, but he will get better and better. I'm telling you that now. Like, that was his most impressive performance.
Yeah, look, I don't think at the moment there's a huge upgrade on Kai Havertz with Gyökeres, but I tell you what, I do see someone who I have more faith in front of goal with, and that's why he's got 3 goals in 5 games or 6 games, is it now? Because it took Havertz about 9 games to get a goal, didn't it? I mean, put him in a headlock and took him over to our fans, which was really embarrassing, really. But like for me, Gyökeres, I think we need to provide him a little bit more service. I'm with you. Yesterday, there was parts of his game I didn't like, parts of his game I did like. And if I'm honest with you, Judge, I've got to be honest with you. That's how I saw the game, really. And I've been getting a little bit of stick for it, really, because some people didn't agree. I saw it as, I liked that. Oh, that was a bit frustrating. Oh, I liked that, though. No, I'm not sure about that. And that's how I saw the game throughout. I thought that with first 30 minutes, I like this. This is looking good. Handbrakes off. Very good from Eze. Shots from outside the box. Gyökeres had a good first half hour. Trossard should have scored. Rice was covering every blade of grass. And then the penalty got overturned. And I felt that we lost mentality a little bit. And I think that Arteta lost his head and he was shouting at the 4th officials. The crowd got up. The players went down a bit. And then they scored. And I thought, you're joking. We've been on top and we're 1-0 down. And obviously, Gabriel was pretty poor from the goal. I thought that was really bad. I don't want to be seeing that, judges. I can't lie to you. I don't want to be seeing that. That was poor. I know he made up for it, but that was poor defensively from him. And from then, I thought like it was a little bit back to Arsenal possession-based. Didn't really create much after that. Then half-time. And then in the second half, I think the first minute we looked sloppy. Calafiori's all over the place. And then it looked a little bit possession-based again. And then we started to turn it on again. And then he made some subs. Now, I was crying out for the subs with Arteta. I'm thinking, come on, Arteta. What have we got Zubimendi and Rice still on together for 1-0 down? And this was where I was getting my criticism. This was where my frustrations lied. Because I was watching it, Lee, going, that team are good and that team ain't. And the team that ain't good are bloody winning. How's that work? That was why I was losing my head. Because I'm thinking, we ain't taking our chances. We're going to come back and hate this. We should not be losing 1-0 here, and we are. And I think people have seen that as a huge, that's out of order. He just hates Arteta. Ain't got not much to do with Arteta. It's on the players as well. Do you know what I mean?
So I get where you're coming from. I thought it would have been more on the players, if I'll be honest, if we'd have lost.
Yeah, maybe so. I think both need to take into account. And then he makes the changes. Marino comes on, and I've got to be honest with you. Whether you're a lover of Marino or not as a fan, that is an incredible header. That is an absolutely incredible header. And this is where I want to see Marino, not bloody standing next to Rice in the midfield. I want to see him up forward because this is where he's a threat. His attributes suit him there because he can do that like he did against, the back end of the season last season, he was doing that. He was flicking on winning headers, scoring goals with his head, and he was a nuisance up there. I want to see him in those sort of positions, really, because I think in the box he could be really quite a handful, right? And then obviously you got Gabriel, who's a monster from that. And you know what was funny? Gary Neville's commentary. When Marino hit that and he put it in, right, because I rewatched the goals, he said, if you're going to go and win the title, you wouldn't be happy with this 1-1. You've got to go and win the game. And the next thing is the corner. And then Gabriel, boom, it goes 2-1. And that is a massive win because why I was frustrated was not just watching the frustrations of, come on, we should be scoring. Come on, we've got to take our chances, make some changes. Arteta, go all out for it, be braver. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, we've got to win this. And that's why I'm emotional and stressed and frustrated because Liverpool dropped, Chelsea dropped, Spurs have dropped. And people might not look at Tottenham or Chelsea and think they're going to be in the title race with us, Lee, but they're there right now. They're around us right now. So get them off our backs and go and chase the top. And that's what I wanted to see. And that's why I think I was getting so emotional and stressed like we all were because I think we were watching it thinking, we've got to win this. I don't know if we're going to, and I'm going to leave here thinking, we should have won that game. We're going to remember this. Why the hell have we not done it? And luckily, football's so quick. Within a click of your fingers, we've won the game 2-1 and we're getting the hell out of there as quickly as possible with 3 points. So That's how I saw the game, really, bruv. I've got to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
honest.
Listen, I ain't got a problem with you saying that. Like, if you see it like that, because there's going to be frustrations in the game. You know what I mean? Because you're not winning it. Like, what I would say about substitutions, the Marino one is like, I don't think anybody see that coming really. Like, to bring him on there, but he must have seen something in maybe corners, set pieces, getting crosses in with two big people up there. I don't know, but I thought that was great. I'm not sure about the Odegaard, whether he could perhaps play 15, 20 minutes. Because if he could, I'd probably agree with you and go like, you know what I mean, he should have been on a bit earlier. Because I thought his performance was sensational. It was sensational. The pass for Miles Lewis-Skelly that's what you want to see him do and do it more often. That was what we were seeing, passes like that. And Miles Lewis-Skelly should have done better. I thought Miles Lewis-Skelly done well when he come on. Just a little bit more guile, if I'll be honest, than, if you look back, he's the one that the bad kick from Pope goes straight to him. He controls it very, very well, moves it on very, very quickly. And so I think that from everything that we done in when he come on, I just thought that what he done was he just dictated play for us. There was times when we had to speed it up. He did. Time we had to just kept the ball really, really well as well. There was one time when he dinked to go into the outside, cut it out and got us out on the left-hand side. We was attacking down there. I actually looked at it yesterday and thought like it weren't one of those where we look clueless to break down a team down. I don't know if you felt that from what you're. It weren't like we're getting the ball, rolling it back to the left back, rolling it into the centre half. Oh, when are we going to do so? They looked like there was feeling like, and I even think in that first final 10 minutes, we opened them up on 3 or 4 occasions, like the Zubamendi little chip over for Timber is definitely one. The lovely little pass into Miles Lewis-Skelly was brilliant, and there was another little one where we had a little Eze got into a little thing. I done a little 1-2 and got it. I think it got over. I think Timber might have someone scuffed it over the bar. I can't remember. It might have even been Eze. But we was getting into dangerous positions and all that. And the other thing, Dan, I don't know if you noticed it, like they were on their knees at the end of that game, Newcastle. We'd run them ragged. You know what I mean? Tonali was gone, physically gone.
Tonali and Bruno didn't bully us, did they, this time?
No, because they couldn't
seen them do that before.
They couldn't get near us to do that, though, because what we'd done was we played it around very, very quickly. And, like Zubamendi's still got a long way to go before he convinces me that he's the right man in that position, by the way. But I thought he played well, neat and tidy again, like, you know what I mean? Keeps us ticking away. And what I see was that, they were hanging on at the end and desperate to just see it out, and they couldn't. And Arsenal overpowered them in the end, like, and I get some of the criticism. Of course you do, you know what I mean? Like, you can't miss all those chances and expect to win games at times, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to be a little bit more thing. And listen, going back to the Gyökeres thing, the next 6 games is where he comes into play. This is that's what we bought him for in these next 6 games, because they're all 6 games we should win, but they're the ones we dropped points on last season. We cannot afford to drop any points from now until the international break, not in October, in November. And as I said to you earlier on, I want to go on the old hot winter sun, being top of the league.
We've got a great chance of a run now, which we'll come on to in a minute. Let's do these super chats first of all. This one comes in from Eric. He says, I honestly believe if Merkel went to the 23-24 and 22-23 playing style, we win the league. The only reason we didn't then was the squad depth, which is now fully addressed. And I'd like to see a midfield of Eze, Rice and Odegaard in home games, kill games early. Let me stop there. That is such a good super chat. Big up to you, Eric. I totally agree with this, by the way. Not only the first bit, which I think, squad depth would have been brilliant in those seasons, but the last bit in particular, I don't need to see Zubamendi and Rice against Brentford, Wolves, West Ham, Fulham at home. I don't need to see that. I need to see Eze and Odegaard, either side of Rice, or Zubamendi if you want to give Rice a rest, whatever you do. We do not need to play Rice and Zubamendi in every single game. I don't mind them playing against Manchester City. I don't care if you want to play them against Liverpool. Don't bother me if you want to play them in a hard Champions League game. But when I'm looking at that midfield every game, there's no need for it in some games. And I thought yesterday we could have done it a little bit sooner. And against Manchester City, we could have done it a little bit sooner. Get Odegaard on for Zubamendi. put Rice in the 6 and then go for it. And I think that's what we did yesterday, but we should have done it a bit earlier, in my opinion. And Manchester City, we definitely should have done it a bit earlier. So big up to you there. I totally agree with that. The next one comes in from Mr. Big up to Judges. Barbara says hello. Happy for the day
Barbara,
win.
how are we?
There you go. Big up, Barbara. And Lawrence says, why is everyone going overboard after yesterday? I still have no faith in Arteta. As the saying goes, one swallow doesn't make a summer. You're going to get this, Lee, aren't you? You're going to get this.
And,
I know there's...
And rightly so, but you've got to start somewhere, Dan, and you've got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
Lawrence. You know what I mean? And away to Newcastle's a good thing. What you've got to do now is, listen, is to convince the likes of Lawrence and other people in the fan base now as you go and win your next 6 games. That convinced me then that you've got a chance to do it. And I'm not convinced as you look at our 6 games that we can win that day, win all 6 because of what's happened in the past. That is something that we've got to improve on. You know, you can't be looking to drop points in these games. You've got to win them. And I do expect us to win them. And if we don't win them, you've got the same problems. So there's a little... Listen, we said this earlier on, and you can go about it, bat around it, do whatever you want. Like after that, when the season started, if you said you'd have picked up all of those points that we picked up, right? If I be honest, Dan, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna call out our mate Lawrence, right? And I hope he comes back with a little. You don't have to put a super chat in, Lawrence. Just put in a chat, right? We've got 13 points, right? I think most of us would have took that because someone like Lawrence said that we get 2. So, you know, you can respond to that, Lawrence, if you want. You know what I mean? And I'd like to hear from you. Thank you very much, Lawrence, because we've now got 11 points better than what you actually predicted. Now, at the end of the day, I think we should have 15 points because I look at that and go, right, you know, yeah, I accept that Liverpool was a tough one, right? But we should not be drawing at City at home. We should have beaten them at home. Right, but and even if we'd have beaten City at home and draw away at Newcastle, wouldn't have been a rouse up. 13 points from those 6 games isn't a bad thing. Let's see if Liverpool now pick up 13 points from their next 6 games, and if they do, it's game on for them as well as it is us for us. But for us, we should be picking up maximum points now from those games, you know, and that's what it is.
Let's go through those games because they are looking a lot rosier than they were in the first 6.
We're talking league games, by the way.
Not easy. Yeah, we'll go in the league, obviously, because, you know, we've got Olympiacos, Champions League and stuff like that as well. But West Ham at home, new manager bounce, Nuno, Graham Potter out. Very tricky team to face under
Lost
Nuno.
the last 2 times at home against them.
Yes, we have. And against 2 different managers, by the way, as well, I think. So I think it's Moyes and Potter we've lost to, which is not great. However, I look at it now and think that we could be in for a bit of a tricky one with Nuno because he can set up very difficult to break down and he can counter-attack, etc. But I'm expecting 3 points against West Ham, Judges. They've been poor this season. They've got Jared Bowen as their only real top quality player, and some of the other players are quite tidy. But let's be real, we should be demolishing them, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just West Ham Paul. I don't know if you're watching, Paul, but he's just messaged me, like, you know what I mean? Great result against Newcastle. Now for the big one, like, you know what I mean?
Well, it is for them. Declan Rice derby, they called it, don't they? But I've got to be honest, I'm quietly confident this year we can do West Ham.
I'll be right, like bloody annoyed if we don't. 3 times can't beat them. Like these are the games. These are the games that cost us last season. This has cost us the title for the last couple of years. Games like this at home. It's got to be a banger. Sorry, Paul. Not a tanker. It's got to be a banger. We must win this game. Simple as that. Like, you know, I don't want to hear about managers bounce and new managers bounce. We are better than West Ham, and we go and we're at home. Go and do the business. End of. Don't want no discussion on it, Dan.
Thanks. I'm with you, mate. Then we got Fulham away, a ground that we've struggled at over the years at times. 1-1 last season. Scored in the last minute. It got disallowed for a foot offside. It's the 5:30 on a Saturday evening, which should be a good game. It's normally quite a nice place down at Craven Cottage, but I'm not going to this one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not going to this one this year, but I do like it at Fulham. We got to win this one. Like last season, we really should have beaten them. and they're not playing that great at the moment. And I fancy our chances. I'm quietly confident with this one, Judges. What are you saying?
Yep, same as you. Like, I think it'd be a tough game. But again, if you're going to win the title, can't afford to drop points
Yeah.
against Fulham.
After that, we've got the Champions League game, but our next one is quite a difficult one. Sunday at 2:00 against Crystal Palace, a side that haven't lost yet this season, a side that are unbeaten since April, and a side that have just beaten the champions. We are at home, but last season it was a 2-2 draw. I know this is a much weird must win, but this one I think is the trickiest one of our run, mate.
Yeah, listen, this is a tough game, but listen, I'll be more. I would be less confident if it's away from home. We're at home. Crystal Palace at home should nail it, but this is going to be our toughest one. Very, very difficult game. 18 games unbeaten is incredible. What's a job that manager's done there? Like, he's lost players. He's got, I think, he's got injuries with what's the midfield player again? He keeps getting injured all the time, doesn't he?
Walton.
Walton keeps getting injured. Such a shame. But they've got players like Will Hughes in midfield doing the business. Come on, this manager deserves a lot of credit. And up front, they've got players that can hurt you. Sarr is a consistent form for Liverpool. Consistent, like, you know, those late runs that he does, that powerful run. I really, really like him. They've lost Eze, they've lost Elise in the last 2 seasons, and they're where they are in the league. Incredible job. And, like, you know, I've done all that shenanigans going on with their central defender. I don't know if you noticed it, he was the one that put the header. He didn't even celebrate when they scored, like, you know what I mean? Because he's thinking, oh, well, I'm just costing myself a bleeding medal, like, when I go there in January. Incredible what that man's done as a manager. I've got a lot of time for him. That is going to be our toughest game, but you're at home. Win it.
Got to. Then we come to Brighton in the Cup. And then the next league game after that is Burnley away, which is just must win. We can't be dropping points at teams like that in relegation zone. And we move into November. And then we've got a couple of tough ones, Judges. We have got Sunderland away, which people say, you know, should be a win. But they've been playing very well of late at Stadium of Light as well, which will make it even trickier. And then we've got the North London derby at home. And then we have got Bayern Munich before we go to Stamford Bridge. So it gets trickier in November after Burnley, basically. But I still think that this run, we should be, if we're going to go for the title and win it, we should be looking to get, maximum points pretty much up until Stamford Bridge, in my opinion. That's what we should be looking to go for. But we might draw a game, might draw 2 games, but we should not be losing 2 or 3 games in this run, should we?
No, we shouldn't be. I got Chelsea got Liverpool. Is it Saturday or Sunday? Who's winning that game?
I think Liverpool.
Right. So if they go there and win, we've got to go and do the same. Like, I think, you know, if they draw there, I'll take a draw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. At the moment, it's in our hands again now, because if we match every single result that they do, right, and we beat them at home, we are the champions.
Yes.
Right? So that's how I look at it now. Like, you know what I mean? So listen, concentrate on what you do. I love what Saka said yesterday. Like, when I don't know if you've seen that interview where they said, "Oh, there was the pressure on because he dropped points?" He said, "No, less pressure, and we're not really worried about what other teams do. We've got to concentrate on what we're doing. It's no good other teams dropping points if we don't do our job." Love it. Get the results done. Tottenham at home, always difficult because we're playing Tottenham, but we're at home again. Like, you know, that is fresh from the international break, which is going to be a little bit difficult because we've got a lot of players away on the international duty. Hopefully, their managers treat us nicely there and we come back fresh. And then once we've had that international break, we go big time with those couple of games. Massive games. And you cannot forget the Bayern Munich game in there, because that could be a much of a sealing the deal for get us qualifying for the Champions League. So that is a massive November. Massive. But, you know, you've got 2 games there at the beginning of it that make that even more massive if we win them, Dan. You've got to beat Burnley, then you beat Sunderland, 2 away games, and then you come in the home games, home and away again. Like, you know, so it's 3 out of that 4 games, 3 of them are away from home in the Premier League. Tough. but come through those games unscathed. Oh, and this is when our squad's going to kick in then from December and January. There's week games every week. So our squad is going to be tested. You know what I mean? Like other squads won't be able to be as strong as, not as strong as ours, Dan. I don't care what anybody says. So this is where it becomes advantage Arsenal over these next few months. Like, you know what I mean? So massive 2 months now for Arsenal. Massive. And after that, you ain't got the international breaks till March. So like this is where I think from then till March, this is where Arsenal got to use their strengths.
Yeah. Look, I've got to be honest. We played Liverpool on the 7th of Jan, I think it is, in the new year.
Yeah, a midweek game.
Midweek game, which is very random. But yeah, we're playing a midweek in January. If we're 2 points off of them, we're in a good position, mate. If we're ahead of them, we're in a brilliant position. I think we've got to try and look to get ahead of them, but Liverpool are a good side. It's easier said than done. But if we're no more than 2 points behind them like we are now, and we play them, we win that game, then a lot of people will say Arsenal are favourites. Now, I still think Liverpool win the league. I'm not going to change my opinion after one game at Newcastle and one loss for them. But I do think Liverpool got some issues at the moment, Lee, and I feel like 4 or 5 new changes for them. It's come on and shaken their 11 a bit. Isak will fire, he will score. Wirtz will fire and he will score, but they are not electric at the moment. Isak's just come back. Wirtz is struggling. I don't think their new signings in Frimpong and Kirkes have settled yet. I don't think that Liverpool look defensively as perhaps resolute as they have done. Konate is having a bit of a bad time. If it wasn't for Alisson, it would have been 5 or 6, if I'm honest, at the weekend. Palace absolutely smashed him. So they need to get it together as well. This ain't just all Arsenal got to get it together because Liverpool are looking. No, they're not. Nobody yet is looking amazing, including Arsenal, by the way. No one's looking unbelievable, which is an exciting season, I suppose, for the neutral. But I do think the two sides that go down for this title are Liverpool and Arsenal. I don't put City, Chelsea, and Tottenham in that bracket yet. I just don't. I don't think City look good, comfortable enough. I know they comfortably beat Burnley, but I don't think across the season I can see them having a few slip-ups, if I'm honest, still. I could be wrong because Pep's quality, but I don't think City are going to be as close to Liverpool and Arsenal, but I could be wrong. But what I will say is I think we've got a long way still because we can't look at this result and say, right, that's it, we're in the league. We still got stuff we got to do and improve upon. The good thing is, and I was speaking to Andy, our good friend, earlier, got a few players to come back, Lee, as well. You know, people have forgotten Havertz, Jesus, Madueke. They've all got to come back. Nkapie has also got to come back as well. And talking of that, Lawrence has replied to you. He says, touche, Lee. Yes, I did say we'll get 2 points, but that was before we signed Eze, Nkapie, and Madueke. Was it? I don't know. I don't remember when he said it. To be honest.
No, we'll let him off. We'll
let you off, Lawrence. Big up to you, mate. Listen, 2-1, 3 points. Now it's time to go on a run. We've got West Ham, and then we've got another Poxy international break. We've got some. Is it then? When's the international?
Yeah, it's like one more game. One more go. We've got 2 more games. We've got Olympiacos on Wednesday, and then we've got West Ham on Saturday, and then it's international break again. Like holiday times, Dan. Holiday times.
Another holiday. I think that's going to be me, mate. Another holiday. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then I think we've got another. And we got like 4 or 5 more games, and then another one in November as well.
That's it. Like the last game, Sunderland away, and then we have another international break.
Oh, brilliant! Another holiday then.
That is definitely a holiday. I've booked up already, so I'm definitely going.
Oh, good man. I think I might go and get some sunshine somewhere in November.
Yeah, some winter sun on the old back. That's what you need, like.
That's what I need, mate. That's what I need. All right, sweet. Listen, people, we're out of here. Make sure you do me a favour and make sure you're following, subscribe, make sure you like. I'll be back this evening at 8 p.m. on my channel doing the Race for Europe show with the boys. And Lee, I'll let you see us out, mate.
Yeah, listen, great win on Sunday, should I say, against the Toon. Always good to beat them. On to Champions League now. Let's get a result there. And then on to the Declan Derby. And enjoy it. It's a nice summer's day out there today. I tell you what, it's freezing cold last night when I got in, and then it was nice and warm out there.
Yeah.
So enjoy the last bits of the sunshine. Have a good one.